Alright, hey guys, we're doing a bolt action pen and pencil set for a young man. And so just getting it set up here. This is going to be an American Gladiators with a Gladiator helmet on it. Hopefully you guys can see that. And let's go ahead and get started. All right, so going to be a fairly straight contour on these, so not a lot of curvature. Looking decent on that, so let's go ahead and start the sanding. So it's 360 grit that we're starting with there. Usually what I like to do is go back over it in a cross pattern, and that kind of helps get some of the little deeper grooves out before I go to the next grit. We've got 4 or 5 different kinds here of grits of sandpaper that we'll go through that basically step through anything down, all the way down to about, I think we start at 400 grit, and we're gonna go all the way to 1,000 on this. Same basic concept as I like to go cross pattern as well. On each grit size. You know, with these epoxy blanks, it really don't take a lot to get them nice and finished with this type of method. Seems to be looking pretty good. One more cross pass on this. This is with 1,000 grit. So again, we're not changing any shape by now. We're just getting all the scratches out and polishing basically. Next step that I go to is I introduce the little sanding pads here. They're wet sanded and it's 1,200 grit. Really start to see the shine come through now. You can see the nice American Gladiators thing on here with the different bullet holes and all those goodies. And what I do from here is I have Zona paper, And so it's made by 3M, really like it. Goes from about 12,000 to 40,000 if I remember correctly on the grit. And so we'll hit it with each one of those. Nice and clear there. Last thing I like to do is hit it with a little bit of plastic polish. Just seems to kind of put that final shine on it for us. Turn up the speed, knock it on out with that final buff. Alright, so we got that one done. That's for the pencil or the pen, either one. They both use the same blank. You can see nice shine on it. So we'll put it aside. We'll go ahead and start the second one. Same basic idea with this. We're going to put our bushings in each side. There again, this is already set up, bolt action, pre-poured, pre-tubed, all the good stuff like that. You can get those on the website. Get it locked down good. All right, we're ready to go on this one. We've got general shape on this one. There again, fairly easy, straight, not a lot of contour. So let's begin sanding. And get that crossing going. You know, it never amazes me. I cast my own blanks, obviously, but it never amazes me. Some blanks seem to turn a little better than others, and some seem to have a little more scratch resistance than others. So, you know, I think it all depends upon, obviously, which type of epoxy that you use, and maybe even, you know, if your pores are slightly off on your amount of grams or something like that. So I always try to stick to the most consistent way that I can on that. Seems to really help out in the long run. That thing I'll point out, I almost did it just then, is, you know, when you're working with these epoxy blanks, if you do it at too high a speed, when you're actually sanding these down, you can actually burn a little line, a little white line into them. Almost did it just then on one of those, and, you know, no big deal. You can go backwards, obviously, and sand that back out, but it does slow the process down when you do that. And to me, really what makes the difference in this is, you know, going through each grit. It doesn't take long on each grit by any means. But you want to go through each one of your grits and do your cross sanding and stuff like that. Really, in the end, really pays off. All right, we're going to have one more grit after this, which is the 1000, then we'll go into the wet sand. All right, looking good. Just gonna put that last little bit of coating on it here. And buff it on out, which should be good. Great progress there. There's our blank. We'll go ahead and start the assembly process. Go ahead and slide a piece of wood up here so you can kind of see the pieces and what we got to do with it. So this is for the pencil. There again, they're going to be matching sets. So you got your tip. The spring is going to be a little bit different in a pencil. Basically presses together the exact same way as the pen does though. Pretty sweet chrome color on this one to match it. Alright, so we're going to take one of our blanks here. We've got 2 blanks. And we're going to go ahead and take our first one and we're going to press this back side in. All right, so there's our first piece pressed in. If I was smart, I would go ahead and read the directions on this. It's been a long time since I've done a pencil. It looks like it slides right in. So I'm going to go ahead and press that piece in. Alright, so we got both pieces pressed in there. Let's go ahead and apply our spring. Go ahead and get it in. Last part is the tip. It's going to be stubborn, won't stay in the bag on me. Alright, and voila, you can see there's our lead coming out. It's a good deal. So there is the pencil. Here's the pen stuff. There again, almost identically the same. I'm going to save the tube, obviously, use it for casting. There is our ink cartridge. There's the back side. Wonderful spring that we hope to not lose. And here is our tip. No certain order you've got to do these in. I'm going to go ahead and press the back end first. All right, so there's our back side in. Great. Go ahead and bring in the front. There's our front on it. Lastly, we're just going to add our ink cartridge and spring. There again, keep in mind on your bolt actions, sometimes they take a little work to get your full set in there. And there'll be quite a bit of excess spring that you'll press in. It's typical with bolts. All right, test it to see. Looks great. So there is our matching set. So congratulations, Kaden. There's your matching set of pen and pencils and the Gladiator that you were wanting. So thanks again for watching, guys. Feel free to post any questions, comments, and we'll be glad to answer. See you on the next one.